Hey guys, this is Sarah with Beal's Lobster Pier. I'm just here to show you how to make lobster rolls from our lobster roll kits, which you can order at any time. They ship overnight and nationwide, so they're really fun to get that Maine feel when you can't be with us and it's not summer. So I'm gonna show you two different ways how to make them. We sell them with both butter and mayo, so you can get them hot or cold. I'm gonna do a little bit of both today, and I'm also gonna find a little bit of ways to jazz them up as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's get started. Okay, so first things first, since I'm gonna be doing them two different ways, I separated my lobster out in half. It comes in really big chunks, big claws, big whole tails. I think it's beautiful. For me personally, I like a little bit of a rough chop on them. So what I'm gonna do is just go through. You don't really have to do much to them because you do still want those big chunks of lobster. So I'm just gonna take each claw, just give it a couple of chops, and that's really it. I don't really wanna make it too small. It doesn't have to be precise or anything like that. Just a couple of chops where you see that there's just a couple pieces that are too big to bite through. Oh, look at these beautiful claws. So now that that's done, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat up my pan. You want that pretty high. You're gonna want it at a medium-high heat. What that's gonna do is it's gonna give the buns a really nice sear. So first things first, we got our brioche buns here. I've already pre-sliced them. You wanna make sure when you're slicing them that you don't go all the way through. That's gonna keep it sealed at the bottom and just give you a nice little pocket for all of that meat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the butter that came with the kit. I like to melt it down a little bit first. I use a little brush and I just brush the sides with butter. You can also just make it room temperature so it's spreadable, and then you can butter each side as well. I find that it really just gives the bun a really nice golden flavor. So even though one is gonna be mayo and one's gonna be butter, we butter and toast both buns. Just gives it that nice little crunch. So once the pan is pretty hot, yeah, that's pretty good. We're gonna go in, and it gets a nice little sizzle as it goes in. And give them a light press just so you make sure you're getting a full toast on each side. And now we can start preparing the lobster. So for the cold mixture, I've got our mayonnaise here that came with the kit. What I like to do is you can scoop it in. Depending on how much lobster meat you're using, let's say they give you enough if you were gonna do the entire kit with all mayo. So just kind of, since I'm doing it both ways, I'm just gonna use a portion of it. I like to mix it in. Some people like light mayo, some people like heavy on the mayo. Just use your own discretion. That's kind of what's fun about doing a lobster roll kit at home, is that you get to make it exactly how you like it. So something that I like to do is I like to add a little bit of green and herbs to my cold one. So what I've done here is I've chopped up some chives and some dill. Again, use at your own discretion. I prefer heavy on the dill, so I've just done some big rough chunks of it, fresh, same as the chives. I like a little bit of green to go in there. It really just feels bright and fresh, especially in the summertime or when you're missing the summer. So once we have that, we can give that a nice stir. Oh, that looks really beautiful all together. And you know what's really fun is now that you've got all this lobster seasoned up, what you can also do, let's say you've made too much, you don't have as much as you really want. For lobster rolls, you've got too much meat. Season with a little salt and pepper. If I ever have leftovers, I like to use the extra lobster meat for other things, and this actually makes a really great lobster salad to go in greens, or just on toast if you have extra lobster. I doubt, if you stuff your lobster rolls like I do, I doubt you'll have extra, but if you do, also a great idea. So now that our cold one is done, I'm gonna check on our buns really quick. Ooh, they're browning up really nice. So now I'm gonna start mixing in a little bit of the butter with the lobster. Now you can cook this in with the same lobster butter that you're cooking the buns in. Perfect. So now what we're gonna do is I've got some fresh butter lettuce right here. It's pre-washed. dried off a little bit. It's just nice, bright and green, a little bit of a crunch in the lobster roll as well. Okay, those lobster rolls have got a really good toast on them. So now I can let those rest off to the side. And now we're gonna throw our lobster with butter in. Just gonna let the pan cool down just a little bit. And what I like to do with my lobster roll, because normally if I'm at Beal's in the summer, what I really love is the garlic lovers roll. So I've chopped up a little bit of garlic here. I did a rough chop. That for me personally, I like having those big chunks of lobster. But if that's not your thing and you just want the flavor, you can always use a garlic press as well. So I've just mixed in the garlic with the lobster meat, and that's just gonna go straight in the pan. Just gonna get a little bit of those crumbs out from the bread. Turn that flame back on. We'll keep it pretty low, just so that we let that garlic sizzle. I want to give that garlic time to cook down, really release all of its flavor before the lobster gets at the perfect temperature. So while the lobster is cooking, I'm going to take our rolls right here. Take a piece of lettuce, stuff them in each one. If you prefer not to have lettuce in yours, totally fine. It tastes just as good without. For me personally, I like the crunch. I'm gonna give that lobster a bit of a stir and shake. That's cooking great. You can season with a little bit of salt and pepper if you'd like. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna start serving up the lobster with mayo. Oh, this looks delicious. So normally our lobster rolls have as much lobster meat as you'd find in a 1 pound lobster, which if you're on site, that's what you're gonna get. If that's what you order the lobster roll kits, that's what you're gonna get. It's delicious. It makes it so you have giant chunks of lobster in every single bite. Oh my God, I can't wait to get into that. And it looks like the lobster is caramelizing really nicely with that garlic. That's perfect temperature. And while it's hot, we're gonna spoon that in. Here we go. Oh my God, that smells so good. I wish you guys could smell it. Wow. And this giant claw on top, nuts. So, here we have finished cold lobster roll with chives and dill. We also have a hot lobster roll with garlic, a little bit of butter lettuce, and toasted rolls on the side. Looks amazing, right? I like to do something even more nuts because it comes with these Fox Family potato chips, which I just think is like a really nice summer nostalgic feel. Also, I love when a kit includes everything. And I'm a little nuts. I like to put my potato chips in my hot lobster roll. I think that's what we're gonna do today. Just like to put a couple in there, right on the sides of the roll. It just gives it a nice extra crunch, a little bit of saltiness. So when you pick it up, it's a whole sandwich. And we'll put the rest of these right on the side. I don't know, looks like a perfect lunch to me. Enjoy, guys.